So this is a walkthrough of ColorOS 15. The device I'm using is the X8 Pro. So it should be the same, but you'll get obviously some differences between devices. So let's jump into the settings first, and then we can go through the rest of the features. So you've got your usual Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, mobile network. With this device, it is a dual SIM, so you'll have the option to select which SIM would be calling off, or you can always ask, and which one would be using your internet connection if you're not on Wi-Fi. It does have eSIM support as well, and smart 5G, so it'll automatically switch between 5G and 4G to reduce battery consumption. So connection and sharing, so personal hotspot, VPN, NFC, private DNS, Android Auto, link to Windows, share with iPhone. That's just that app that you get to download that you can share stuff with iPhones. Screencast, touch interaction. So wallpapers and style, so you get your carousel of previously used wallpapers, but you can go here and use the standard wallpapers that come with the phone. There's also an option for more through the theme store that they provide. There's quite a couple of options, but it is still limited. This is what they give you as a set. I mean, you can still go on Google and get your own ones. Then you have your always on display, so you get seamless with classic. So you can change your info, battery, as an example, notifications, so it shows pretty much just the time. And then new notifications, show new notifications and always on display. Power saving, you can schedule the display mode, or you can set it to show the whole day. Then you have the different colors you can choose as an example. And then the element that they add here when you select an image. So here's the different images you can select. Must be honest, not great options, that's why I don't use it. To me, it's got some weird stuff here. CO2, Earth. So basically when it's on your lock screen, it will just show that moves briefly and then stops moving, and then you can change the colors of everything else. It's the Homeland theme. Different types of clocks, analog, image. Yeah, with these word ones, what I noticed is you can't change them. So as an example, if I come into the themes here, to my themes as an example, let's take this one. How do I go into it? Like this as an example. The writing that's behind here, you actually cannot change. So that theme pretty much gives you that option, and that's the option that you have. So pretty limited in terms of that. Then you have your different fonts. Change font size, font weight, adaptive font weight, and then your icons, so you can show different sizes of what icons, Pebble, or you can customize it completely, or do art icons. It's pretty much a redesigned icon of the original third-party icon that you have if it doesn't change while you change it. And the font size underneath that, and you can choose to not show the names at all, but I like seeing that on. And change your user interface color as well, so all the toggles and whatnot comes with certain. You can even make it your wallpaper colors as an example. So these are selected from my wallpaper what colors it can detect, and then I can use it in conjunction. And then edge lighting. So this is when you get a message, notification, phone call, lights up the edge of the screen. So I actually can't show you, but you can see it there as an example. And sounds and vibration, just your usual vibrate, volume settings. You can change different ringtones per SIM card that you have installed. This is the clear voice option, so while you're on a call you can select this and it does some sort of background cancelling noise so that your voice sounds better. So you can toggle it on for what you want it on for, or toggle it completely off. I haven't really tested that, so I'm not sure how well that works. I have not tested this either. Holo audio. This is just the haptic intensity that you can set here. So in-ear monitoring, low latency voice feedback and carefully calibrated reverb effects. So when you're connected to your earphones, this device and open a supported app or bubble will appear. Then you can adjust the settings in an in-ear monitoring, volume, reverberation, voice changer and equalizer turn. I'm not sure what that is. And these are just your notifications. So how would you like them to display on your lock screen? Banner, app icons. Oh, the live alerts is pretty much like the dynamic island as an example, but less features. So at the moment this is the only stuff it uses, and I don't even use those. For system services like screen recording, personal hotspot, any timers as an example, and then Oppo's music playback would then show here. It does work with Spotify as well, so if you play a song on Spotify you can just give it a tap. It would show you a small card and the long press would actually open it up. Pretty useful. I use that. I love that on the iPhone, so definitely like it here. So security and privacy, this is just like a app security thing. Checks your apps to see if there's any dodgy stuff going on. That's about it. Safety and emergency, so emergency SOS, emergency location services, earthquake alerts, unknown tracker alerts, silence notifications while driving, wireless emergency alerts. So location settings, that's just your normal location, Wi-Fi, GPS. Digital well-being and parental, so this just shows you what you're using or how much you're using of, as an example, Instagram, WhatsApp, Xiaomi Home. You can set certain focus modes, a bedtime mode, app limits. If you set a limit on WhatsApp as an example, it will only allow you to use the app for so long of a period, and then afterwards you actually can't use it. So it will kind of lock you out. And then it's just the apps. The nice thing about this is you get an app cloner, which I think is pretty cool. It's also a bit dodgy, I must be honest. Those are for those people that maybe want two accounts. One for the wife, one not for the wife, as an example. So you can clone your Facebook, you can clone your Instagram, so you can have a PG Instagram going, and then you can also have a non-PG Instagram going, if you know what I mean. Yeah, that's pretty much that. Disabled apps, so I've disabled a lot of the apps that I don't use, like Google Meet, Gmail. I don't use it. I don't use Lens because I use Circle to search as an example, so, and I don't play games on this phone, so I've disabled all of that. Then you got your battery, so it's just your general battery health, percentage battery health, smart charging, charging limit. And you can choose your modes. You can go high performance mode, balance mode. I found that even in balance mode, it's no problems whatsoever with performance. Accessibility and convenience. So get smart services based on on-screen content. Enable screen recognition. So enable screen recognition from the smart sidebar taking a screenshot. So it's content awareness on the screen pretty much. Split view. Display two apps at once for easier multitasking. So it just gives you the gestures for how you can use that. Smart sidebar. So that's that sidebar that's here. So you can take your screenshots. When you're on certain websites, as an example, you can do an AI summarizer. Yeah, smart responses, AI voice, and then obviously you can edit this, put different items that you want to add here, whatever's convenient for you. And then you can do floating windows. I don't use this, the phone's not that big that I would need to use a smaller window. I'll put the keyboard here as an example. Screenshot, so it's different ways to do a screenshot. As an example, you can do 3 down, you can do the usual Android volume down and power button. I usually use this, it's the quickest way to do a screenshot for me. You can also then extract the content from the screen. So if you're on a website and you want to specifically select text or an image that you can't select text from, you would do it then through here. That's the easiest way I found to do it. Gestures and motions, so this is where you find all the air gestures. So that's where you would do your controls. Hold back so hold the back of your hand 20 to 40 centimeters from the front camera of your fingertips pointed down. When prompted appears top of the screen, flick your hand to answer a call. Yeah, I don't see why you'd want to answer a call like that, but okay. Erase to wake, lift ear to answer call, auto switch to receiver, automatically switch the receiver when you lift your phone to in-ear, flip to mute incoming calls. Turn on and off torch with the volume button. That's nice actually. Didn't know that was there. Assistive ball if you want to use that gesture ball. Quick launch. So quick launch is if you hold down your fingerprint icon, then you can quickly launch into an app while you've held it down. Simple mode. It's just the other sections here. Software updates, so that's what I'm currently running. Actually got an update this morning. Up to date. We've got your keyboard and input methods. So obviously you can use Gboard. That's what I'm currently using. There's no Oppo version. They use Google's keyboard, interestingly enough. About device. You can see your storage options. Your RAM, it also gives you extended RAM options. So if you found something you were doing obviously was using too much RAM, you could extend that and use onboard RAM. It's not going to be as fast as your RAM, but I think it at least helps. Because then your phone would lock up if you were doing some crazy stuff. But I've never been in that situation, so I'm not sure how that works. Yeah, then you could use users' accounts. Google, I'm not going to go into those because it's going to show my details. Let's just go to some of the settings here. So this would be the wallpapers that we viewed, the different icons. These are the widget options that you could choose. There's quite a couple of widget options. This is the app layout, so how many grids you would like, so how small, big your things are, apps are. These are the transitions, so how you would like when you swipe the transitions to look. And then more, then would be again home screen layout with a drawer, without a drawer. That's obviously when you swipe you can change drawer styles. You can add new apps to home screen once they're installed. Show suggested apps. That wouldn't do that because that's very addy type stuff. To show suggested apps. Drawer layout. 5 columns. Yeah, and that's it with that. And then you've got your Google Magazine. And then your general apps. Then you've got options here to also edit here. Location, device controls, wallet, NFC, personal hotspot. Clean up camera access, screen lock. Adaptive tone. That's that, and then let's take a look at the camera. So you've got your features up top here. Aspect ratios, timers, auto HDR, macro. It's usually on auto macro. Then let's go to settings. So here you could set the watermark. So if you want the Hasselblad watermark as an example, you can then change it. You can also change it after the fact. So once you've taken a photo, if you didn't apply the watermark, you can apply it now. You can change it to different ones. Add your own text as an example. So it's quite a couple of options to use that. And there's also the video watermark, but I don't use this. Yeah, composition assistance, grid guides, level, add location tags, mirror, selfie, shutter sound, the different formats, so high efficiency and high efficiency video, touch and hold shutter button, clear burst, classic burst. You can even change it to record video, shooting methods, tap to capture, tap anywhere on this viewfinder to take a photo, show palm, show your palm to the front of the camera to start a timer. So obviously if you don't have anyone helping you take a photo, you can do these auto shots. So this is where you change your 1x to the conventional focal lengths. Quite interesting. Let's actually turn the brightness up here. Portrait distortion correctors, focus locks, tap to lock focus on subject when recording videos. Focus will automatically adjusted as the subject moves. Volume button action, shutter volume zoom, quick button, which is the side quick button here. So double tap to open camera, double tap to open camera and immediately take a photo, or do nothing. It's very bright, sorry about that. And then the pressure sensitivity. So this is not like the iPhone's one, it's not an actual button, it's a haptic feedback. So you don't feel anything there, but if you press it, it gives you a haptic press. Where on the iPhone you have to physically like push it in quite hard, which is very uncomfortable because it makes the phone move every time you take a photo. So yeah, you can set the actual sensitivity on how sensitive you want the press to be for it to register. Smart suggestions, so this is obviously looking at a scene, it will give you a smart suggestion. Cool. Then you've got your master mode, which is the Hasselblad calibrated mode. So you can change to RAW, JPEG, change your exposure settings. Saturation, contrast, sharpness, vignette. And then you can go full pro mode. So ISOs, your shutter speed, EV, autofocus, white balance. And then we've got the video option here. So video option, you've got your steady, ultra steady, so that's nothing, ultra steady, HDR for Dolby Vision. And then you've got your 4K, 3060, 1080p, 3060 and 720, 30 for video options. And then you've got your retouch beauty stuff. That's crap, don't use that. And then you've got your film modes if you want to do that. And this is the background blur on video. That's how you enable it. So in the beginning when I was reviewing this phone, I could not find the feature to background blur on video. That is it. And you can set how much blur you want, stronger, weaker. That's it. Yeah, and then photo modes, you've got your different options, so it shows focal lengths as well when you're on it. You can tap, it's got different focal lengths, ultra wide. And this is portrait photo mode. You can change between 1x, 2x, 3 and the 6x periscope, and then you can even change depth of field, how strong you want the depth of field. And these are the haze effects. And you've got your night mode, you've even got tripod, so if you've got it on a tripod, this would then open the shutter for longer, giving you a much better night shot. Then we've got long exposure, so if you want to catch moving vehicles, all of that, or a waterfall as an example. And then more, so you've got your high res modes that would take a full resolution photo. You've got the pano, film mode, slow-mo, time-lapse, dual view, so this would record front and back same time. sticker, document scanner, which is awesome, and then X-Pan, which is an Oppo feature. So it takes a super wide picture. So if you're doing landscapes and stuff, phenomenal thing to have. It takes very, very nice landscape photos. And that is it. I think we've pretty much covered everything. And that is the... I can actually show you quickly. So AI summary, AI speak. That's the AI features. It does change for what you're looking at.
Occasional in lounge chairs, 21-day sale. Replica Barcelona leather chair, black, R11, $499. Jake's chair, carbon, R6, $909.
Then I can show you some of the AI editing tools. So AI editor. So enhance clarity. So if you've got a poor quality photo, you can enhance. You've got your normal AI eraser. You've got the unblur, and then you've got remove reflections. That's all the AI editing that you can do. Add text, markup, filters, adjustments. Convert to PDF, set as wallpaper. Yep. That is it. If there's anything I missed, let me know and I'll be sure to answer all your questions in the comments down below. Thanks. This is a very not the type of video I would usually put out, but I couldn't find ColorOS 15 walkthroughs, so I thought maybe I could do YouTube some justice and actually maybe show somebody what ColorOS does look like for those who don't know. And yeah, that's ColorOS in a nutshell. Thanks for watching.